The JobKeeper dependency drops, but border closures are still an impediment. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's look at this article from news.com.au. So NAB says businesses are relying less on JobKeeper, but border closures will still impact the economy. Well, pretty obviously, yes. We have a look here. I actually charted out the number of people that were on JobKeeper and looked at the number per state and the number of people employed. Now, what shocked me was how many as a percentage of employed people were supported by JobKeeper. And I just wondered how many zombie businesses or businesses were getting this JobKeeper that didn't actually need it. Now, money from the government isn't free. They can generate it out of nothing, but we pay for it in many ways. We're inflated away, the hidden tax of inflation. There's the candle-on effect, where the money supply from the government is channeled to particular sectors. And then there's future taxation that the government has to milk from all of us, farm from their tax cattle to pay for these fantastic programs that win them votes. And future generations pay for it. It's a beautiful system, really is. Very, completely fair. But look at Victoria, 8.76%. Nearly 8% in New South Wales, 6.85 or 84% in Queensland. So you've got a whole lot of businesses on that JobKeeper gravy train, and you can't blame them, honestly. If a competitor is getting free money from the government, and it'd be stupid for you not to take advantage of it. That's just the way it is, sadly. Fortunately, some businesses are starting to give back the JobKeeper, probably because they didn't need it, and it will buy them some good PR, some good publicity. So let's have a look at this. So, the NAB says businesses are becoming less reliant on JobKeeper, but uncertain and sporadic border closures will hinder the recovery for some industries. And tourism is going to cop it. All up the coast here of Queensland is going to cop it. Tourism is going to just be a brave industry to be in. Weekly data from NAB Economics has revealed consumption in hospitality and accommodation sectors are lagging and softening the country's recovery from the downturn sparked by the government interventions to mitigate the pandemic. For the week ending January 25, accommodation and food services spending was down 3% compared with the same period a year ago, bucking the trend of positive growth that had been felt in the broader economy. How much of that growth is the result of the free money tap and artificial interventions into the housing market? That's the question. And when they turn off the faucet, I'd hate to be leveraged to the hilt and in the tourism sector right now. Because even if we have, because there's talk about no international tourism this year. And that's another question. We'll put that over there and just think about how that's going to affect the housing and apartment market. But what if you were leveraged to the hilt, mortgage for your business and your house, and you're in the tourism industry? You're dependent on JobKeeper and government support. The banks are going to start tapping you on the shoulder now, if they know they can't keep going. NAB chief economist Alan Oster said the retail sector remained relatively robust. Well, that's because there's still free money flowing everywhere. And increases in mining activity had supported economic growth in states such as Western Australia. So we just have to hope that the Chinese rhetoric against the Australian economy just remains that, and they don't hit iron ore, because then WA will cop it. The economy is still good, but it's been softer through the course of January. And part of that softness is due to hospitality, he said. Mr. Oster also noted business inflow data collected by the major bank showed JobKeeper payments were making up less of the revenue intake, highlighting firms are becoming less reliant on the wage subsidy scheme. You don't even want businesses reliant on this wage subsidy scheme. According to NAB, inflows over a rolling 6-week period have risen 9.2% compared with the same time last year, with close to 95% of the intake not coming from JobKeeper. At the height of the pandemic, revenue inflows were primarily made up of government wage support. Despite less demand for the scheme, Mr. Oster said some industries are still battling from the financial effects of the government lockdowns, would likely need ongoing support beyond the March 31 deadline. And then there's the question of, will we have an election this year? Will they have, selected continuation of JobKeeper for that period? So I hope they continue JobKeeper in some areas that are really badly hurting, he said. I would be nervous about withdrawing all the stimulus and doing it early. I think a lot of the focus is going to move from keeping the economy afloat to trying to make it perform better. NAB head of small business banking, Anna Marinkovic, said tailored support for impacted industries would need to occur while operating conditions remained uncertain. Ms. Marinkovic said hotel providers she had spoken with had told her state border closures and occupancy limits were holding back return to normal operating conditions. It is important that we collectively acknowledge that there are differences in this recovery and to ensure that the assistance packages are tailored to where they are needed most. NAB confirmed small business loans placed on deferral during the pandemic had fallen from 39,000 to only 2,000. That's good. That's good. She noted businesses were looking for greater certainty from both the federal and state governments over state borders. And that's going to be the biggest thing. That's going to mean, would you risk going on holiday if the border was shut? Would you do it? Could you take the risk? Or what if you went somewhere and then, oh, boom, you come back, you got to spend 2 weeks on a holiday. So you're in a hotel. Your holiday to relax turns into a nightmare. Just stay at home, save money. The border closures, as necessary as they were, are not conducive to business certainty, she said. We're in favor of anything that provides a bit more certainty on the ability of businesses to stay afloat for a prolonged period of time. NAB Economics is expecting GDP to increase by roughly 4% during 2021 and anticipates by the end of the year the unemployment levels will be around 6%. So the biggest issue we're seeing here is that certain sectors are going to cop it. So this is the K-shaped two-speed economy we have. There are going to be some people that can work from home that aren't going to feel the impacts, and there are going to be others that are just going to be left out to dry. As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Is your industry doing well? Or are you planning for tough times? As always, thanks for watching. If you're a fan of the channel and enjoy the content I cobbled together here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy a merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. You could also use the SelfWealth link down below, where we each get 5 free trades. Take care, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.